Hi, welcome to the pursuit of truth. Just want to go through a few YouTube websites that I've seen with interesting content. So the first one I was listening to was Steve HV. That's his YouTube channel. You can check it out, and I think I put it on the companion of the pursuit of truth as well for easy access. And he was talking about YouTube censorship, and he went through, he analysed. I think it was an article in the Independent. I don't know if it was a newspaper or online, but it was talking about how YouTube are thinking of changing their policy towards their content, and they're labelling flat Earth and conspiracy theories and 9/11 doubters under the same bracket as supremacists, white supremacists. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it just goes to. I mean, it doesn't help the fact that people challenge authority and people like YouTube and how they use their algorithms to hide our stuff already, and the counts are inaccurate and stuff like that, and now they're looping us with white supremacists just because we're questioning the world around us. But it's funny how, what I don't get is it's very similar to 1984 or Brave New World. There's lots of movies out there, there's lots of books where, they show dystopian futures where people aren't allowed to think, and what was his name? Philip K. Dick's stories, a lot of his as well. They show that aspect of thought crime and police state and stuff like that, and we all sort of realise that this is such bad, and the hero is someone who breaks down that system and brings freedom and truth to everyone, so everyone can be free to think and challenge everything around them, and they're not boxed up, and anyone who's contrary to the teaching is killed or put in prison. And yet YouTube are actually doing that same thing. That it's like that Scrooge effect, the Christmas Carol effect that I was talking about before, how everyone knows that money is the root of evil and that we're all greedy and selfish, and yet we still do the same things ourselves. We're such hypocrites. And I suppose YouTube is no different. It's made of people, and people are hypocrites, and so they're going to do the same thing. So they want to censor now people from questioning because they think that it's going to manipulate people's minds into that. I mean, I don't understand what the big problem is. If you're just because someone says something and you don't have to believe it, you weren't there. So I don't understand what's the problem with questioning things. But yeah, Steve HV did a great video analysing the article and a response to YouTube, really. So that was really interesting. The other thing I saw was, not in this order, actually it wasn't in this order, it was John Thor's video. What was the title? I put it in the companion as well. Is his latest video. This is the 7th of June 2019. And his video was, it was a Belfast radio station, and it was, what's the guy's name? I've forgotten his name now, but his channel was something Uplifting Limit or something like that, I can't remember. But anyway, if you go to John Thor's latest video, you'll see it. I think he's the guy who organises the Globe Lie conventions. But he was talking to this DJ, this interviewer, who was, obviously not unbiased and objective. He started off with the way that he would say flat Earth, and his opening spiel obviously made people believe that anyone who believed in this idea was crazy, and that it's so stupid and this, that, and the other. So it wasn't like he was even willing to question anything. Even so, it was good that the guy that was challenging the authority, the interviewer, was was giving a lot of good points, and every question that he asked about where's the edge, and the things that you always expect, he had a good answer for them. And it was actually it was really good. Out of all these things, the flat earth things, when they come onto the mainstream, usually they don't end up doing too well, but this one was actually really good. And the only thing is, like the interviewer, the DJ, he didn't really want to accept anything. Whenever he got a good valid answer, which should make any ordinary person think, oh, wait a minute, that does make sense. How do I answer that? How do I, I've stumbled over a block, what am I going to do? And all he does is he just moves on. And he kept doing that, and that, it's very annoying, really, when someone's giving valid points and you just don't want to even consider them. You don't even want to think, wait a minute, that actually makes sense. Now I need to look at this for myself. That point never happened to the interview. And then at the end of it, when the guy had gone, he was really sneaky. He sort of said, "Oh, is he gone? Is he gone now?" And then he wanted to do a WTF moment, just to stamp, just in case anyone out there possibly believed the interviewee. I mean, the thing is, like, he did a really good job. I think he did really well. He put all the good points out there, and listening to him, you think, oh, this guy is coherent, he's making sense, he's giving good answers to things, it makes sense. But the problem is, because of the interviewers, the way he tackled it, the way he put him down all the time, the way that he moved on from every subject and never acknowledged anything other than the fact of water being, he didn't think water was bendy. But he still wanted to use gravity to explain it. But other than that, because he put it down every time, any person who was objective listening to it probably was going to side with, oh yeah, the Earth is a globe, and the flat Earth guy was just crazy. So it's never a level playing field, as it were, on these mainstream media. But he did a pretty good job, especially considering the first 2 minutes. I mean, the first 2 minutes he just attacked the idea and the concept, and then he had callers, some pre-recorded ones, which were also obviously against flat Earth. He only had one person who believed in the flat Earth, which was an old woman, and I'm sure that was perfectly picked just to make people think that, oh, well, you're not going to believe an old woman, are you? Or it sounded like an old woman's voice. And then the last video I saw was Zoom Truths, which was about his new, they've updated that People Finder. Apparently trolls were phoning people's numbers. I don't know why people would leave their phone numbers, a bit silly. So he's revamped it now, so you have to rejoin. It's a members thing, which is a good idea. You can put your stuff up there, you can see all the stuff and connect to other truthers, flat earthers, whatever you want to call us. So I thought that was a really good idea. The only thing I would like on there, especially because of another thing that started with, it connects really with what Steve HV was talking about, YouTube and cutting down on us. There may be a time where we're unable to put our content there. So I know I've mentioned this before, but maybe this Zoom Truth website where flat earthers and truthers are going would be a great place to try and start off, like a truth tube platform where we can upload all our content without it being censored. The only problem is then if there's no censorship, do you put everything on there? And then that, of course, opens up the problem of what if white supremacists or undesirables, as it were, put stuff up on there. There always has to be some sort of censorship, but then when you start doing that, then you start, like, because it's John Smith Global or Connection, that, I'm not going to put anything from Beyond the Imaginary Curve, and all that kind of rubbish that goes on. So maybe it's better if it's independent. It would be, I don't know how you would have I suppose if you really want non-censorship, you have to let everyone just put their stuff on there. But yeah, that's always the problem with the idea of no censorship. So yeah, so that's my update for you of the things that I've experienced so far. All right, take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.